We chose to come to Jinja. We chose to come to Jinja because we know there are 42 members of parliament from Busoga region, from the kingdom of Chabazika, and we noted that only 11 of members of parliament had signed.
Less than 10 votes to make 177. Where are they? Please call upon your area members to come and sign their signatures. We are not against them, but we are calling for them to append the signatures. We have this matter be put on the order paper. We discuss it. The 4 commissioners should come and defend themselves whether they stole or not.
The purpose of the visit is to verify the number of iron sheets recovered from Agnes Nandutu by security operatives. This visit was scheduled by the Anti-Corruption Court, presided over by Justice Kajuga today.
May it please my lord.
Winfred Nakatude, a senior police officer with the State House Anti-Corruption Unit, testified that security operatives were unable to recover 383 iron sheets from Nandutu. The iron sheets were intended for the Karamoja sub-region but were allegedly diverted by Nandutu, who also serves as the Bududa district woman MP. According to Nakatude, out of the 2,000 iron sheets allocated to Nandutu, only 1,617 were recovered from her farm in Mukono district. Nakatude has told the court that Nandutu claimed the iron sheets were meant as relief items for people affected by landslides in the Bududa district. The court also heard that Evelyn Hilda Bazibu received 2,000 iron sheets on behalf of Nandutu from the Office of the Prime Minister, Assistant Inventory Management Officer Osbatari Nitwe at Namamve in Mukono district. Nakatude's testimony is part of a case in which Nandutu is charged with dealing with suspect property contrary to Section 221A, subsection 1 of the Anti-Corruption Act. If found guilty, Nandutu could face up to 7 years in prison. The prosecution alleges that between June and July 2022, at the OPM stores in Namave and Kolasel, Burwanyi Parish, Mukono district, Nandutu dealt with 2,000 pre-painted iron sheets of gauge 28 marked Office of the Prime Minister. The prosecution claims she received and held these items knowing they were acquired through the loss of public property, which is an offense under Section 10, subsection 1 of the Anti-Corruption Act 2009.
Initially, NIDA had planned to commence mass registration and renewal of national ID cards in June. However, this timeline has elapsed without the process beginning. Appearing before the committee, NIDA officials led by the Executive Director Rosemary Chisembo provided updated timelines for the mass enrollment. They highlighted that the 280 billion shillings secured will be used to replace equipment procured 10 years ago, which has contributed to delays in ID production.
An alien identification number, but the template for printing the ID, that one was not left behind. So it's the ID that has a cost of $100. Not generate a card with the alien template. He left only one template for the one for the Uganda citizen. I think we are 3 months behind our projections for beginning of mass enrollment. We are supposed to begin the enrollment process on June 1st. We hope to start by the end of July or beginning of August. We had several delays. One of them was the money.
Additionally, NIDA is introducing new biometric identification features on the IDs to assist individuals who face challenges with unrecognizable fingerprints.
Uganda in the joint venture.
The UPPC, there are 3 parties. UPPC, Office of the President, and Ministry of Finance. 3 parties.
Under what law does the Office of the President become a body corporate to
The relationship between that one which you said the contract was expired and the new one. You know, even the directors, that's why I'm not disclosing them.
The directors of the, I have no idea about that. I don't
clear it, but it is not commonplace for security printing intellectual property to be surrendered, especially involving biometrics.
Other queries include the 5.7 billion administration and license fee and the 1.3 billion for selling goods and services.
Administrative fees and licenses, when you look at our categorization of the non-tax revenue, these are the actual fees that are paid for the access of our services. For example, if you are doing a change of particulars.
Gentlemen who are in construction, like a cement, destroying their fingerprints, those people cannot access national IDs.
The people wait for a national ID 3 to 6 months. How prepared are you that we can beat the deadline for mass enrollment in preparation for the registration and final elections?
Loopholes, those ones giving the ID. That's why you may have forgery IDs and you fail to get the passports. Could you tell us where are the loopholes? Where do you find the problem?
Currently, NIDA holds data for 27 million Ugandans and aims to increase this number with the upcoming mass registration. The new equipment and features are expected to streamline the process and address previous shortcomings. The committee also requested the officials to return to the committee with particulars of the directors of the companies involved in the procurement of the alien registration and further look through their financials. An appropriation bill is a proposed law that authorizes the expenditure of government funds. Parliament passed a bill on the 16th of May 2024 authorizing the government to spend 72.1 trillion shillings for the financial year 2024-2025. Interacting with a section of opposition legislators outside Parliament following a heated debate in Parliament, they claimed that there were no substantial grounds in the President's letter justifying the return of the bill, aside from expressions of dissatisfaction over Parliament's alterations.
I made only one submission. 770 billion reallocated. Near half of that money, 300 billion, is going to ROC, a private company that has been mismanaged by its proprietor, but Museveni is friends. They didn't allow me to proceed to the next point. Because the next point, money was being moved from what Museveni calls debt servicing, and debt servicing there meant or of Benet. So these MPs who are cheering Museveni, or today he has them, see, they are moving money from buying ambulances, constructing schools, health facilities, to give to Rubowa.
Never just have a worker Mapasika. Roko yajja mu Uganda nga ezekuzimba kereziya yenda mu y'abakatoliki. Bweyamala okuyita mu veitale nekwata business. Etambudde ne bali bayisa sente za Roko wano kyali irregular. Nasaba mukama wange yavaako kati ne mugagende mu kooti ne batakiwabuza.
Semujunganda further stated that the sole issue is the lack of courage on the part of the NRM MPs, since even if they decline to reconsider the bill and return it to the President, he returns it and they reanalyze it once more.
The trouble is that many MPs don't believe. Those who are cheering Museveni, we are doing so because they didn't have enough information. So here it's entirely up to the public and those MPs who have been cheering Museveni. He has said MPs are thieves. Now the country must judge between Museveni and MPs.
However, Balam Barugahari, the State Minister for Youth and Children Affairs, takes exception, noting that as a member of the cabinet, they are duty-bound to represent the views of the government and not their own.
It was members of budget committee had allocated themselves hospitals in their constituencies. Only their constituencies. In Masindi, there is no single hospital added. In Bulisa, no single health center added. Why are they doing selective development of health centers? You can verify, you look at the budget, you have it. Verified. So I want to thank the President for that. Then too, I'm challenging my elder brother regarding local payment. government agreed to invest in the East Africa pipeline. Also, government agreed to invest in Morocco as shareholders. So we are buying shares from a construction company so that we have our own construction companies.
3.7 trillion has been going on. This has been a habit. There is no way, even if you're an owner of a house and you realize that you'll put something at this position and you want it to be in that position, because the president knows that in each of these regions there are a number of health centers, there are a number of roads that have to be constructed, there are a number of facilities. And then someone comes and sits down and says, he has to go to the capital because of the member of the city. What happens to the rest of the members of parliament? They are here making noise, but they are forgotten that the people who are moving this money are trying to move the things for them to come back to parliament.
In his letter, the president compared Parliament's action of relocating funds to sabotage, indiscipline, and massive corruption, wondering why the practice has persisted despite the guidance of both the Attorney General and courts of law on the issue of reallocation of funds proposed in the budget by the executive.
Uganda, as the host, has 35 entries, and a number of them are aiming at reaching the middle brackets, but they have also revealed the challenges that may deter them from achieving their set targets.
I say that this international tournament is a bit more difficult than the continental one, and of course, as you can see, it is attracting players all over the world. If you look at India, you look at Brazil, look at Peru. Of course, these countries have had para badminton for more than 10 years. So they have been training, they have been practicing, of course, participating in their continental championships. And of course, as Africa, we just started in 2017.
It was not okay, it was not fine, because it is too hard for some of us, because some of us we don't have anything to use, or for example, transport, food.
In the same line, Ali Chibirango of Wheelchair 2 and Elizabeth Mwesigwa of Standing Lower 3 highlights the challenges they face as para players and asks for more companies to join and support them.
Tubadde nabo nakwo omulundi guno tiimu Uganda tetraininze bulungi. Ate tiimu Uganda ekizibu kyesanze ekirala nti abazannyi bano buli omu ava waka waabwe. Ekyo nakyo kitukosa nnyo nga bumanye entambula y'abantu abaliko obulemu.
Challenge nyingi ze tuyitamu, tuzanyira wabweru, tetulina bizimbe, shuttle tetubeera na shuttle, oluusi ogenda okwagala training omwana oba okwetraininga naye nga shuttle toyina. Racket zonna nga zisnapinze nga tetulina wawe tuyinza kutwala racket zaffe kuturepairingira okutuusa nga tuzaate Kampala. Oluusi nga sente zeetaagise z'okurepairinga ate nga nazo tetuziyina.
The championship, that is climaxing on Sunday 7th July 2024, has started with group stage action, and knockouts are expected to commence on Thursday. The 14 countries that are participating include Uganda hosts India, Azerbaijan, Benin, Brazil, Cameroon, Israel, Ivory Coast, Nigeria, Zambia, Togo, Colombia, Mexico, Egypt, Botswana and Djibouti.